I'm gonna show you something that I was personally looking forward to. You probably know by now because I've rambled about this on Discord, YouTube, everywhere, but I am a fan of magnetic controllers. Like this little guy, the Abxylute M4 that Abxylute has been cooking up, and of course other competitors like the Amcon from OSnap. I want to see all of them released and more companies jumping on the magnetic controller form factor. I really think this is a way better solution than the telescopic controllers, because for all their comfort, telescopic controllers are just big, they are not pocketable, you have to put an active brain effort to want to use them, as in you have to make room in your backpack and you need to want to carry them. Now, controllers like the M4 try to solve that by making them very thin and light. Well, thin in quotation marks, I guess it is thin compared to other controllers. But the main catch here is that they're meant to be ultra portable. Something that you put in your bag or even you stick on your phone and you try to integrate it to turn your phone into something akin of the PSP, I guess. Now, this is very important for you to know, and I want you to keep this in mind for the rest of the video. This is a prototype unit. One that, stupidly enough, I already broke because I'm a savage and I really didn't treat this little guy gently. Do you see this little tooth over here? I actually put so much pressure on it that I bent it, but in the final version, this is important for you to know, that little tooth is entirely redesigned. It's thicker, it's longer, you shouldn't have this problem. But keep it in mind because you're gonna see a bit of wobble and I want you to understand where that wobble comes from. But the idea behind this controller is that your phone would either have MagSafe, aka magnets inside of it, or you can attach a MagSafe adapter like what I have on my case here, and then the controller just simply snaps onto it like this. And technically, this is kind of portable if you don't mind the little hump on the phone here. Now, it's not exactly flush. This is something that Abxylute, I think, could improve in their next model, but it is nonetheless a very good start. I'm very excited to see this new type of controllers sprouting up. It will basically have two forms, let's call them forms. One when it's more recessed and you have access to the D-pad and to the ABXY. This would be good for NES, for example, or even a bit of GBA because you have access to the shoulder and trigger buttons on the back, which of course the shoulder and trigger buttons are digital. You shouldn't expect, analog triggers on something this small. It's unrealistic. But the thing is that you can either put it in that previous position or in this position where you have the sticks visible as well. And with this, you could actually play some things. Now, there's a bit of a few gotchas, I would say, a few sacrifices that needed to be made because of how small this thing is. The first one is something that you probably saw, and that is that these sticks are slider PSP style, well, sliders. I don't even know if they should be called sticks. So that means that there's no L3 and R3, but thankfully Abxylute already confirmed that L3 and R3 will be accessible via a hotkey combination. I'm not sure yet what hotkey combination that is, but if we're gonna have it in the retail unit, that's good. I actually think that L3 and R3 are mandatory. I treat PlayStation 2, for example, as a retro handheld. For me, retro doesn't only mean NES and the 8-bit and 16-bit era. So I hope to see L3 and R3 in the next iteration. So I'm pretty sure this was designed for something like PSP and under, but at the same time, if those hotkeys will be there, you can also use this for PlayStation 2 and all the other, let's say, more modern generation consoles that we can emulate. What I like about this form factor, I'm going to start with the likes and then I'm going to go with the dislikes. But keep in mind, this is not a review. I'm going to do another video on the final review unit when I receive it. I'm just basing things off the prototype. What I like is the fact that personally, I'm a screen-to-body ratio freak when it comes to handhelds. I want as much screen real estate as possible, and a solution like this basically gives you all screen. You know, it's basically like you have a big freaking screen shoved in front of your face, and there's a certain kind of immersiveness that comes with this. I forgot, where should I go in this part of God of War? I think I should go here. And because that screen-to-body ratio is elevated now, you simply have a different experience. I have an allergy to screen bezels, and a solution like this is more or less a cure for not having huge freaking bezels around the screen. Now, the bad thing about a solution like this is that, as you would expect, it's gonna move a bit, but the wobble Abxylute promised me that's not gonna be in the final version. So again, pretend like you don't see the wobble. What disadvantage we have with a solution like this is that the phone will make the whole setup quite a bit top heavy. You know, because the controller is only 55 grams, then you're gonna feel that weight of your phone while you play this. I think you can rest your phone on these parts of the hands right here. Like I caught myself naturally leaning the phone on these little chunks of hand, and that makes it workable, I guess. It's a working state, which is nice. But again, I would want to see them iterate on this model. I want to see a million magnetic controllers coming from Abxylute and other companies. So Abxylute, if you're seeing this, I want you to do way more magnetic controllers than you do telescopic ones. This is just my personal preference, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people share... here is where I was supposed to go. I'm pretty sure a lot of people share this same user preference that I do here. So basically it's workable. I'm not saying that it's not. It is usable. It's gonna take some learning, some getting used to. And with this ring, you can also take this out and like make a stand if you want, but I'm not gonna do that right now. You can also play it separately because it's Bluetooth. And depending on your device, if you have USB-C video out, you can basically consolify your setup pretty quickly with something portable like this. Now the question is, can you hold it on your phone permanently? Well, I think they made it for that exact size. This will be very tightly stuck to this magnetic ring. You will be able to like twist it like this. And because of that, I think technically you could carry it around. You know, it would feel solid. But again, you'll have to get used to the hump. Ideally, what I would want from the next model is for them to resolve this extra height that the magnetic ring brings, either by burying it inside the chassis of the controller somehow, or maybe finding a different solution for the magnetic part. But hey, this is better than carrying a whole freaking telescopic controller with you. Like, just look at the setup. This is a physical controller. You can play GBA, PSP, NES. I'm not saying it's the most comfortable controller, but heck, if it's not portable. And I like this transparent black. You can see the battery there. It has a certain blur to it. You see, it's not exactly transparent. It's a bit frosty. So this is my preview of the Abxylute. I have a brain fart. Of the Abxylute M4. It's. I hope from the bottom of my heart that this is the beginning of an entire family of controllers like this, magnetic controllers. You know, Abxylute actually released a video where they showed a lot of like prototypes, a lot of different form factors that they had, and I want to see some of those in reality. In the meantime, I think this is nice. It's not the most ergonomic. Don't even hope for it to be an ergonomics king or anything. But look how tiny it is. And it's kind of flat, you know? It's like a different animal. It's beautiful in its own way. And all the buttons are kind of mushy. They are membrane, including the D-pad. So, yeah. It's 3:22 a.m. here, by the way. The phone thinks that I want to go to sleep. I should. I just wanted to give a quick rant on this. So tell me what you think, my dear nerds. Is this something that you might be interested in? Again, remember, this is a prototype. Most of the defects that you saw here, they are going to be, I was promised, resolved in the final version. And I'm going to make a video on the final version as well. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I want to hear your opinions on this. Do you like this wave of magnetic controllers that's now popping up, or are you kind of lukewarm around it, or you don't care? Personally, I'm all in on this. This is not a trend, this is portability prioritized, and I always wanted this. I always kind of had a, how should I put this? I had a thing like in my throat when I had to always carry around telescopic controllers. If I carry this when I travel, like, this is too small for me to ever be bothered by. So these are my initial thoughts and impressions, and this is my initial reaction for this is, it's a great start. I want to see more of this, way more of this. So, my dear nerds, I almost died. We'll see each other in the next video. This was a very quick video. I just wanted to show this off, and now I'm curious for your opinions. Leave them below. Maybe Abxylute will be breeding them, so leave feedback. It's very interesting to see what you feel about this. We'll see each other in the next video. Bye.